Shocking news, my lovely, wonderful people. Indefinite strike, it looks like it's in the making. It's imminent unless Tinubu works and ensure that he listens to the people and gets the will of the people running, as well as get their desire coming to pass. What are we talking about as we speak right now, my lovely people? The labor, okay? NLC has said that we will make sure that we go on an indefinite strike unless unless the federal government releases to the state government right now to cushion the effort 180 billion naira palliative package to state governors to release to the people. The union said if the federal government leaves the program for the state government to implement, the palliatives will not get to the intended beneficiaries. So they will want another area through which this will be organized. Joe Agbero, the president of the Nigerian Labour NLC, and the union delegation have said the Nigerian Labour Congress and the Trade Union Congress strongly believe the poor would not benefit from the 5 billion naira given to each state by the federal government, the funds to state governors. If this money is given to state governors, the poor will not get it. On Thursday, August the 17th, 2023, the federal government announced that each state of the federation and the Federal Capital Territory (FCT) will receive 5 billion naira palliative and 180 trucks of rice to help them cushion the impact of the fuel subsidy removal. The removal of the fuel subsidy in May has worsened the economic situation in Nigeria as prices of petrol and food items increase indefinitely, because it's still increasing. So don't question. However, in a bid to address the situation, the federal government announced the release of palliative at the end of its 135th National Economic Council meeting in Abuja on Thursday. Speaking after the meeting, the governor of Borno State, Babagana Zulum, said the fund would enable state government to procure 100 bags of rice, 400 bags of maize, and fertilizers to address food shortage and rising price of food commodity in the country. He said the Nigerian Economic Council met today and expressed serious concerns as regards to increased cost of food items, increasing cost of transportation, among others, as a result of subsidy removal. In order to cushion the effort of the subsidy removal, the federal government released 5 trucks of rice to each state last week. Furthermore, in order to cushion the effort of food shortage across the country, the federal government has approved the sum of 5 billion naira to be given to each state and for the procurement of 100 bags of rice, 40 bags of maize, and fertilizers to each state to give to the farmers. Reacting to the development, Chris Onyeka, the Assistant National Secretary General of the Nigerian Labour Congress, wondered why the federal government decided to release the funds to the state governors, some of whom, he argued, has not been paying the minimum wage. How much more share out this palliative? We all knew what happened when the COVID broke out and there was palliative. They piled it up and stored it up in different areas all across the country, so much so that people began to discover it when the hunger became too much. How are we sure that this money will get to the people? They will write that the money has gone and nobody will get it. It's the usual practice of our government. We know them. We rather prefer that this money is disbursed in such a way that it gets to the people through their local government chairman, through NSC, jobs from their place of work, and others. From the state government, the people will not get anything. You know, people don't know our state governors. See, it be like, there's a picture when we were growing up that was I can't forget that picture. It shows of a farmer who went to farm, and on his way back, this farmer was so blessed on that day. He was able to catch an elephant, which he tied on his head, an antelope he held with one hand, a rabbit on the other hand, and a host of other animals. When you see the farmer, it's as if all these items were tied to him, but he was not inflicted with them. It was his decision to carry them because they were his trophy for that day. He has done well. And so while these things were in place, the guy was going home. And when we say, wow, his family will be, very grateful, and they will have a feast for about a week. And before they begin to put things in place, they would have really enjoyed, that the suffering has been too much. But guess what happened to this farmer? Meanwhile, while he was in the farm, some people were there and they were able to help him, proportion it very well to how he was able to carry it. And the caution there is that he must remain in such a position to be able to get home safely and deliver those products, so that because he's alone, he went to the farm alone, so that he does not, by the time he loses that positioning, for him to get the optimization, it will be difficult for him to transfer and to transport all those items home at once. This man was going home, and the greed in him, that would not allow him to rest, began to stir up. The greed was still bubbling. Oh, more, 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 more. Before he could say Jack Robinson, he heard the rattling, well, the creaking, the sound of a cricket. You know cricket now, in the hole. And the guy was like, I've not gotten the cricket. I did not achieve for today. We're talking about a man who has an elephant on his head, who has a cow on the hand, who has an antelope, who has a rabbit. The crickets are small as your finger. After your thumb, the next finger, you can imagine, yes, that the biggest one is about that size. The man began to use his big toe to try to penetrate into the ground, into the floor, to get access to the cricket. And you know what happened? He failed in his alignment because his concentration was lost. And at the end of the day, he jeopardized the opportunity of getting those things home. And everything fell to the ground. Night was coming. There was no way. There is nobody in sight. At times when you go to some farm, they are far away, deep into the bush. And the man was there, lingering, crying, and wailing. Cricket he could not achieve. Remember that his hands were busy. So when he eventually was able to kick through the hole in order to expose the hiding position of the cricket hopped away. And at the end of the day, the end state of that man was worse than the beginning. What is the moral of this, the audio story I'm telling you since? Greed. Somebody say greed. That is the description I can use to best describe our state governors. You see what happened during lockdown? Oh God. Leave us a comment. Don't forget to like or share, subscribe. God bless. Bye for now.